Hello, my name is Warren Brooks, and I am doing my speech on financial aid. You ask yourself how this will benefit for you. Well, I am going to explain the procedure and types of aid you can receive. If you don't know how to go about applying for financial aid, then I recommend you just sit back and listen and watch. First off, everyone asks what exactly is financial aid and how can it help me? Well, the definition for this is any grant or scholarship, loan, or paid employment offered to help a student meet his or her college expenses. Such aid is usually provided by various sources such as federal and state agencies, colleges, high schools, foundations, and corporations. How can this help a student? You can receive money from the state that you will not have to pay back. Types of financial aid available. Grants. In the United States, grants come from a wide range of government departments, colleges, universities, or public and private trusts. Grant eligibility is typically determined by financial need and academic merit. The application process is set by the agency providing the funds and often relies on data submitted via the FAFSA. While the terms grant and scholarship are frequently used interchangeably, there is a difference. Scholarships may have a financial need component but rely on other criteria as well. Some private need-based awards are confusingly called scholarships and require the results of a FAFSA, the family EFC. However, scholarships are often merit-based, while grants tend to be need-based. Some of the examples of grant commonly applied for in the U.S. is Federal Pell Grant, Federal Supplement Educational Opportunity Grant, the Teacher's Education Assistant for College and Higher Education Grant, institutional grants, private employer grants, state grants, and that's about it. Private loans. Private student loans are offered by a private lender, financial institutions. These loans typically have much higher interest rates, have fewer repayment deferment options, cannot be discharged through bankruptcy, and are not supervised by any agency. Consolidation loans. Consolidation loans combine two or more student and or parent loans into one loan. They are an option for those who find themselves struggling with multiple student loan payments. Work study. The Federal Work Study Program is a form of financial aid. Work study jobs allow students to get campus jobs when possible within their field of interest and are more flexible than off-campus part-time jobs. Scholarships. While the term grant and scholarships are frequently used interchangeably, there is a difference in scholarships may have a financial need component but rely on other criteria as well. Education loans. An education loan is taken out by a student or a parent in order to pay for education experiences. Federal student loan programs. Federal student loans are loans directly to the student. The student is responsible for repayment of the loan. Direct subsidized loans. Direct subsidized loans are the most sought as they have a few requirements other than enrollment and demonstration of financial need. Direct unsubsidized loans. Direct unsubsidized loans are available to all undergraduate and graduate students with no requirement to demonstrate financial need. Parent loans. Parent loans are federal parent loans that are a federally funded loan option if the student is dependent on his or her parents. Financial aid Application process for need-based aid. To qualify for need-based aid, a student must have a significant amount of financial need, which is determined by the federal government based on FAFSA. Using the information submitted on the FSA, the U.S. Department of Education calculates a figure called the Expected Family Contribution, EFC. If the EFC is less than the cost of attending a college, the student has financial need. Some well-to-do colleges have need-based aid of their own to distribute in addition to federal and state aid. Excuse me. Need-based financial aid is awarded on the basis of financial need of the student. The free application for Federal Student Aid Application, FAFSA, is generally used for determining federal, state, and institutional need-based aid eligibility. At private institutions, and supplemental application may be necessary for institutional need-based aid. A recent trend shows that what is purely need-based aid is not entirely clear. According to the National Post-Secondary Aid Survey, NPSAS, SAT scores affect the size of institutional need-based financial aid. If a student has a high SAT score and a low family income, they will receive larger institutional need-based grants than a student with a low family income that has low SAT scores. In 1996, public higher education institutions gave students with a high SAT score and a low family income $1,255 in need-based grants. However, only $565 in need-based grants were given to the students with low SAT scores who had low family incomes. The lower a student's SAT score, the smaller amount of need-based grants a student received, no matter what their family income level was. Non-need-based financial aid. Non-need-based loans are available for students and families who cannot afford to pay the entire cost of college. These loans are directed towards those individuals and families who did not qualify for need-based loans due to an amount of their personal assets. There is usually a higher interest rate associated with non-need-based loans. Because these loans are not need-based, the U.S. government does not pay the interest for the students while enrolled in school. They are often referred to as unsubsidized loans. The unsubsidized Stafford loan and Grad Plus loan are non-need-based loans available for both undergraduate and graduate students who do not qualify for need-based financial aid. Non-need-based aid versus need-based aid. With the yearly rise in cost of institution, room, and board, and fees among schools across the nation, low-income students are finding it harder to pay for their education. In an attempt to help students meet the high, costly demands of college, schools have increased merit-based grants for students with outstanding academic position, involvement in organization, and high athletic talent. The issue in that these reasons for awarding scholarships take away from low-income students who often do not meet these merit standards. In other words, funds for merit-based scholarships are taking away from the already small amount of federal aid available to low-income students who simply cannot pay for college without some kind of financial aid. In recent years, government has responded to financial crisis students are facing and therefore passed legislation that boosted the value of grants for low-income students and trimmed subsidies for private education lenders. Schools have also taken action for the sake of students. Harvard University, as a well-known, costly but wealthy institution, had previously cut tuition for students whose family earned less than $60,000 a year, proceed to cut costs by nearly 50% for those students whose families earn between $120,000 and $180,000 a year. Institutions will consider students' financial needs as well as their academic merit standing when applying for financial aid. Merit-based aid and need-based aid have been linked together for many financial aid scholarships. This relationship is beneficial as it underlies that one form of financial aid, particularly merit-based, is not completely taking over need-based aid. Statistics show results of studies performed from 1992 to 2000 that the increase in financial aid awarded was based entirely on merit. However, when viewing numbers of both merit-based and need-based aid closely, the differences are not significant. International students. There is little financial aid available for foreign students with unique exception of Canadian and Mexican students. A majority of aid is awarded as grants, scholarships, and loans that come through public and private sources, which restrict their awards to American citizens. That being said, there is financial aid still available for international students. There are colleges and universities that offer aid to international students. To find out if the school in question offers such assistance, inquire of the financial aid office of the institution. Some schools offer grants, loans, and jobs, and give anywhere from 15 to 150 awards for foreign students. For example, schools such as Harvard, Princeton, University of Pennsylvania, University of Miami, ISAC College, Cornell University, Johns Hopkins, University of Chicago, and University of Oregon all offer packages to foreign students. Graduate students may have more luck with financial aid. This is because graduate and teaching assistantships are offered on the basis of academic achievement regardless of citizenship. Although international students are not eligible for U.S. government aid programs like Pell Grant, SEOG Grant, Stafford Loans, Perkins Loans, PLU Plus Loan, and Federal Work Study, many schools will ask international students to submit a FAFSA so that they may use the data for assessing financial need. There is also assistance a student can seek from their native country. Canadian students attending colleges in the USA may obtain loans through the Canadian government, Ministry of Skills, Training, and Labor. Alternative loans Canadian international students may apply for are the Canadian Higher Education Loan Program, Global Student Loan Corporation, and International Student Loan Program. Financial aid for European students can be looked up by using Neapolis, a data in Italy run by CNR. It has information regarding financial aid for Italian citizens to study abroad. There are also U.S. educational advising centers throughout the world that assist prospective students by answering questions they have about studying in the U.S. Now I will demonstrate on a non-offending account how to use the FAFSA site. And also I used Wikipedia, Google, and studentaid.gov/SAFSA for this speech. Let me pull up the thing that I have. First off, you'll go to, you'll start your aid by going to this financial aid site. You will click Start Here. There is a screen with like a blue background. It says FAFSA Apply for Aid. You will click Start Here. You will click, once you have clicked Start Here, a new user account will need to be made. Choose between I am the student or the parent. I clicked I am the student because I was the student. You will feel, then you will feel, when you click I am a student, it will pop up to create a new account. You create a new account. The screen has, once you click create a new account, the screen will have, please enter your email, confirm your email, make up a username, password, confirm the password, and then you will submit. You need to fill out all those boxes for it to proceed. You will come to a disclaimer. You will accept the disclaimer. And then finally, but not least, last, you will go, once you accept the disclaimer, they will ask you about your financial needs and your 2000, I guess it would be 17 taxes for that year. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Thank you. You have a nice day.